Hello friends, welcome to this new tutorial. Today I have here this iPad Air 6th generation, and the problem on it, as you see, is the screen. The digitizer is broken. So what I'm gonna do now, I will remove this digitizer and I will install a new digitizer. So I already have a digitizer here. Unfortunately I have only the black color, and the guy, he already agreed to put a black digitizer instead of the white one. So when I put this one here, it will look like this. It will look like black panel with white home button. All right, so this is a used one, by the way. I pulled it from another iPad because I don't have the new one for the moment, and I'm doing this like as urgent, so the guy doesn't have time to wait until we get the new digitizer. By the way, for those who doesn't know what is the difference between the digitizer and the LCD, so the digitizer is just the outside part that is responding to the touch, and the LCD is the inside part. It's something like this. I have a small one here. It's something like this, which is showing the picture. So if your iPad is broken, you need to make sure that only the outside is broken, not the inside. You can figure out if the inside one is broken, I mean this one, the LCD, by looking at it. If you see like there is lines or like bleeding, that means you need to replace both of them. But most of the time what gets breaks is only the outside one. Alright, so let's start. To do this job we will need some tools. We will need a Phillips screwdriver, and we will need an IC semi, and we will need some play cards like this, and we will need the double sticky adhesive, and also the main thing that we will need is a heat gun. You will need a heat gun definitely. Alright, so let's put these tools aside, and all what we need now, we will need this one. Also I forgot to mention that we will need a glove for the heat. So what I'm gonna do, I will start heating up this white panel slowly, and I will peel off the screen with this IC semi or pray up. So this is the heat gun. I'm sitting, it has like two levels, the low and the high, so I'm just gonna put it in high because I want to do this job quick. And for you, make sure don't heat up too much and don't focus the heat on one spot like this, because you may burn the LCD in the bottom. Alright, so as you see, I was like spreading the heat on this white panel, and I don't focus the heat in one spot, and I heat it up maybe like a couple minutes, and I will see if it's easy to peel off this thing. That's good. If not, I will add more heat. So let's start from here. Alright, so as you see, it's good. I feel like it's easy. And when you insert this IC semi here, make sure don't insert it all the way in. Let me see. Once you see the tip of this IC semi, make sure just leave it like this. Don't insert it all the way in. And when you insert it all the way in, make sure don't put the tip of it down, because it may touch the LCD and it may make smudge on it, or it may scratch it, and even it may break it. So you need to be very, very, very careful. Make sure you use some safety glasses, just in case some pieces of glass flies. At least your eyes will be safe. Make sure don't hurt yourself, because this glass may cut your fingers. So whenever you feel that it's very hard to move this thing, just add more heat. Okay, so let's add more heat now. Alright, so when you add the heat, make sure you add the heat accordingly, okay? Don't add too much. Oops. I almost hurt myself, so you gotta be very careful, because what happened, this chunk here, it's lift up and I was already underneath this part here. Alright, so once we release the top part, this is the most hardest part. Once we release this one, everything else is gonna be easy. Alright, so once we release this part here until here, this is the most dangerous spot, because we have the home button cable and we have the digitizer cables here. So you need to be very careful when you are like sliding these tools inside here. So I'm just gonna be very careful, make sure to not damage any cables inside. Also, we have the Wi-Fi cable here. This is the Wi-Fi cable. Alright, here in this corner we have the home button cable coming here and going down underneath the screen. So here I'm not gonna like just keep praying up, but I will watch and take a look inside to see if I'm touching the cable or not. When you are buying the screen, make sure you buy a screen with the home button on it to make your life easy. Alright, so we open this. Because of the heat, as you see, this one is melted, but it's not a big deal. I can like make sure it's flattened. So what I'm gonna do now, I will remove these pieces of glass here to make sure there is nothing on the way of the LCD to pop up, because I'm gonna open the LCD. I will make sure there is no pieces of glass here on top of this edge, here or here or here. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do, I will open, I have here, I take this glove, I have here 4 screws, one in this corner and another one here, and another screw in this part here. So after I remove the 4 screws, there are one here, one here, one here, one here. Now I will lift up the screen. I will lift up the screen gently. Make sure don't use any force, because if the screen got bent, it will break. And also I'm making sure to not touch the LCD with my fingers at all, because if you make some fingerprints on it, it will be very hard for you to clean it. Alright, so I release this part here. Then I will insert this. They will release this part here. Alright, so it's released. So now I will pull this one little bit out like this, as you see, and then I will lift up the screen, but I will push this part here inside, because I don't want the cable inside to be damaged. As you see, I make some space here. I push this one here to make some space for the cable to get bent. Then we have here, we have this bracket. It has 3 screws on it. I will remove them. This is 1, 2, 3, alright, so I remove this bracket, and underneath the bracket we have the LCD cable. Sometimes the LCD cable sticks in this little brackets. It sticks like this, so when you remove it, this cable got disconnected with it. It's fine, it's alright, no problem. So now I'm gonna put the screen outside, put it away. I don't want to touch it with my fingers at all, so that's why I'm holding from the edges. Put it aside in a safe place. Then we will disconnect this digitizer. I disconnect the cables, and then the home button. We have the home button here. So the home button has, this is the home button cable. So what I'm going to do, it has a lock here. We need to open this lock. I will just use my nail to open this lock. I will just get closer. So this is the lock. I will use this tool now, but it's better to use your nail. It's open now, as you see. This is the lock, it's open. Then I will grab this cable, slide it back, and voila, the screen now is, this digitizer is out. So I will remove the home button out from here. If you buy a screen with the home button on it, you will save some time. So I insert this IC semi underneath this cable, and I'm releasing it because it has adhesive in the bottom, and I keep releasing it gently until I get it out from here. We still have one small part here. This little piece. Then we have this bracket. Let me take this little piece out from here. Alright, so make sure I will remove this one also. So make sure don't leave any pieces of glass here, because we're gonna stick this to the new screen. Alright, so it's clean. Then we will remove the home button. So right here we can push from outside and remove it. Alright, so now we're going to put this aside, and we will make sure we're going to remove all the pieces of glass here first, then we will clean this area. Okay, I got this flathead screwdriver to just clean this spot here quickly. Make sure this doesn't slip and damage something on the motherboard. Use it carefully, okay? If you don't have the adhesive, you may keep this adhesive here to use it. You don't have to remove it, okay? For me, because I have an adhesive here, I will remove this one completely. Alright, so once you remove all the adhesive which is here, make sure there is no pieces of glass left here. Even if it's very small, make sure don't leave it here, because it will prevent the new glass to sit flat in its spot. Alright, so it's clean now. What I'm going to do now, I will make sure I will clean this spot here, and I will go to install the screen. Alright, so the next step, we're gonna put the adhesive on this frame. Okay, so we have the adhesive here. I have this white adhesive. I will put it here. I will put it from the edge to the, from the corner to the corner, like this. Make sure it's not overlapping the edge, like this. Then I will cut it evenly with this corner. And I will do the same for this one. I'm using this spudger to make sure the adhesive sticks very well. Okay, then I will use this cutter to cut the adhesive which is covering the camera lens here. And I will do the same thing here in the home button part. Alright, so then I will put a tiny adhesive on these edges here. And another strip. Then I will use this spudger to make sure that the adhesive sticks very well, and same thing here. Alright, so now the frame is ready. What I'm gonna do now, I will make sure that the LCD is ready also. So this LCD, because it's already removed from another device, it's supposed to have some adhesive here. When you order a new screen, it's supposed to come with the adhesive on it. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now, I will put the adhesive here. I will cover this from corner to corner, like this. And I will cut it evenly with the edge. The same thing for this part here. And I will put another one in this top here, but before I will make sure I open the hole here for the home button. Alright, so this is the home button. Make sure, guys, don't cut off this cable from here. The cable is very weak. You may cut it from here and then the home button will never work. Make sure this is clean, there is no pieces of glass here. Then you will make sure that this dot is matching with this dot here. Alright, everything looks fine now. This is the white home button, and when I click like this, it clicks. Then I will install this one here first. Make sure these two cables are matching with the connection on the motherboard. Then you put some pressure on them to click them, to snap them down. Then, so these two, then I will put the home button, open the lock is open now. Then I will put this one inside like this. After that I will lock it. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now, I will need something to just like lean this back to it. Then I will put the LCD now. So this is the LCD. Make sure also that the cable connects perfectly here. Then I will put this bracket. Alright, so I got the screwdriver here. They have the small screws here that holds this bracket. We put them back. Make sure don't pull the screen too much, because this cable, if you pull too much, it will be cut from here. Alright, so I put the screws. Now I'm just making sure that they are tight. Don't tie them too much, by the way. Alright, so now I will put these two corners in the bottom here and let the screen go down. Then I will put the 4 screws back. Actually, I'm supposed to test this tablet before I go ahead, but because it doesn't have charge on it, I'm just gonna finish this repair without testing it. And actually, I'm supposed to start work on it after I charge the battery. Alright guys, so once I put the screws here and make sure that the screen is clean very well, and then this screen has a plastic cover on it. I will uncover the plastic. After that I will glue this down like this. Alright, and let me just make sure it's gonna turn on. Okay, as you see the battery is not charged, so I'm just gonna finish this video right now because the customer is waiting for this tablet. Actually I'm supposed to put another adhesive in this side here, but I'm not gonna put it since I already have one adhesive in this part here. So now I'm gonna like remove the plastic which is covering the adhesive, remove everything. So after I remove the adhesive from here, I supposed to remove the adhesive from here and from here. Then I will remove the plastic which is covering this screen here. That will be the last thing that I will remove, because I'm not gonna be working on this tablet on the screen while I remove the plastic. So I keep the plastic until the last minute. Alright, so now everything is done. So what I'm gonna do, I will make sure that this cable is inside there. After that I will just put the screen down, and I will make sure to that the screen is not overlapping the edges here, and that's it. And voila, it's ready now. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and if this video is helpful for you, please hit the thumbs up and see you in next video. Have a wonderful time. Peace.